Okay, welcome back to BattleTech here on Serious Gaming. I am going to move over here to flank around.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
And then we have Decker.
Affirmative.
So, Mad Dog, balanced. It seems to me Decker is a small guy right there. But let's see what we have.
Commander.
Right, so he's fairly
Good to
weak,
go.
like in all stats.
Ready for orders. What's up, boss? Waiting for orders.
She can take a hit.
Location confirmed.
All right. I'm advancing from the south. I could advance directly here, but that would be an issue for different reasons.
Aye, aye.
Acknowledged.
There's a rock over there. And line of sight is a thing in this game that I can use to my advantage.
On my way.
Move order received.
Uh-huh. On my way.
Alright.
Good to go. Receiving you. I copy.
Okay, this will probably get them. Nope.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Alright, I need to get as close as I can to them. This should... Yep.
You are trespassing on Majesty Metals and manufacturing property and acting in collusion with a domestic terrorist organization. Cease your advance immediately, or you will be fired upon.
Ooh, so threatening.
You betcha.
I'll move her into the enemy's line of fire because I think she can take a hit. And I'll move him over there. Use the rock wall to protect him using line of sight. I need to destroy that turret. Yeah, I need to destroy that turret generator over there. Alright, their turn. Come on and get me. Minimal damage.
Damage is light.
Standing by.
Alright, reserve him. He'll act in the next phase. Minimal damage.
Damage is minor, Commander. Waiting for orders. Coordinates received. Confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
Hostile removed.
Now that is an actual proper solid hit right there. Alright, Let me save. Yes, I am saving. No Iron Man mode in this game, though, I guess.
All weapons committed.
Well, something had to be going wrongly, badly.
Damage detected.
Okay. Still
I hear ya.
have her.
Coordinates received.
Alright, he is going to take...
What's up, boss? Copy that. Got it.
Oh, come! That is pathetic.
Losing lots of armor. I'm gonna need a medic. Reporting heavy damage.
Yes, and I reload because I shouldn't have moved them out, but I decided to be stupid. Either way. Yeah, he's really a scout. He's horrible in fighting. Like, you should only use him when you have no other options. I mean, I guess he has some uses, but he's only got 2 shitty lasers against mechs. Yep. And you probably died the moment the enemy turn was in. Okay, so lesson learned over there. I don't want them to take too much damage because damage keeps on going in. At least for the early missions, I want to go in from the early missions with... at least this is based on my experience, you know, playing XCOM and all that.
Interface initiated.
You really don't want to... Wait, I reloaded and... okay.
Coordinates received.
Alright, pilot injured. So, in XCOM, one of the things I learned early on in XCOM is that you really want the early missions to go well, because if they don't, then you're gonna have a much harder time later down the line. So that's one of the main things I've learned. Okay, I got luckier this time around. It does seem unfortunate that they went with this system. See, one of the things the guys at Firaxis realized is if you can allow people to reload and get a different outcome, then people are going to reload to get different outcomes in the games they play. Now, over here... Okay.
Standing by. Stabilizing and bracing.
Alright, let their turrets come online.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
Now, the way they fixed that is that the random generator would be locked in place, so that if you tried reloading after a turn was done, then you would typically get the same outcome if you took the same actions. Anyway.
Commander?
Now, I can
On it.
move Decker over here and take out this spider mech.
Confirmed.
He's got one advantage though. And he can snipe.
Engaging target.
Waiting for orders. On my way. Firing on target. Mech destroyed.
Alright, fusion reactor destroyed. Let's destroy their main facility. Now keep in mind, these mechs do overheat, so I don't want to push it too much. So I want to wait with regards to their heat.
Moving out.
I'm guessing this would give me a great vantage point if I so used it. Ooh, enemies coming.
Commander? Right, Commander. Copy that.
Copy that.
So, based on that, there's a Shadowhawk in this area.
Receiving you.
Let's see what we've got to deal with.
Incoming bandit.
Coordinates received. Roger.
Okay, I'll use the rocks for cover.
Waiting for orders. Coordinates received.
Good to go. Aye, aye.
Right, I'll use my own Shadowhawk. They've got tanks as well moving into position. 2 of them by the looks of it. Now, I don't think the mech that they have is gonna get up here anytime soon.
Commander?
Hold on.
Right, Commander.
Alright.
Yes, Commander. Acknowledged.
Use this entire mech's turn to move further.
Good to go. Commander?
Alright. Let's use that behemoth to get the shot in on those tanks. Fire.
Let's see how you like this. Reporting. Enemy vehicle eliminated. Waiting for orders. Affirmative.
Ready for orders. Got it.
Armor breach! Internal damage! Orders. Affirmative. Firing on target. Negative damage. Repeat. Negative damage. Good to go. Affirmative. Critical hit.
All weapons committed.
Orders. I copy. Think I hit something good.
Yeah, you hit his head. You took quite a pounding there.
Warning. Damage critical. Engaging physical attack.
Yes, Commander. Waiting for orders. Ah! Enemy down. Ready for orders. Up high.
What's up, boss? I copy.
Warning. Enemy in rear arc. Warning. Armor breached. Internal damage.
Commander? Moving to position. Roger that.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Waiting for orders.
Bracing for impact.
What's up, boss? Firing.
Great job, Commander. Double back to our client's platform. The sooner we can collect our pay and break orbit, the better.
Alright then.
Waiting for orders. Affirmative.
Stabilizing. Engaging coolant system.
Alright.
Receiving you. Got it.
Stabilizing. Engaging coolant system.
Alright.
Resting my mech.
Holding here.
Good to go. Roger that. Right, Commander.
Alright, okay, I'll move all of them into position over there.
Commander? Coordinates received.
Moving to position.
Brilliantly worked, Commander. We should have no problem mopping up the other platforms now that the defenses are down. We got the job down, speaking of which. I wasn't finished. These platforms won't do us much good if we can hold them. Majesty Metals taught us that. So we're gonna need your battle mechs. You're gonna want to reconsider that. Why? Your Lancer has already been target locked by our turrets. Now power down and surrender, and we'll let you walk. Or try and fight, and we'll tear you to shreds. Your call. Well, there goes our goddamn pay. Hold tight, Commander. We're on our way.
We got company.
Commander,
Well,
target acquired.
that's one.
Engaging target. Target building destroyed.
Good to go.
Okay, that's most of them.
Bird down.
Now, 71% of the enemy forces. I'll move her over.
Location
I'll move
confirmed.
Behemoth over there. I imagine there's one more vehicle beyond this. Yep, and I was not wrong. A striker.
Waiting for orders. Position confirmed.
Waiting for orders. On my way. Locked on for physical attack.
It's done.
Reporting vehicle destroyed.
Stand by for extraction, Commander. Let's get the hell out of here. Oh, and Darius? I know, Meyer, I know. You want another team meeting. Give the man a prize.
Mission successful.
Well, we won. Bit messier than I would have liked, but I won without getting any of my pilots injured or any. Well done, Commander. We made the best of a bad situation. Now here's hoping we don't run into another job like that. You need to start finding us better clients, Darius. I mean it. We've been slumming on the ass end of the frontier for 3 years now, and we're drowning in debt. I'm fully aware of our financial situation, Meyer, but I can't just conjure up new clients out of thin air. James, do me a solid and back me up on this. Is this why you all made me your commander, so I could break off fights and financial supports? No, let's be reasonable. If we're really that hard up for cash, we need to stop talking and start doing something about it. Hey, you'll hear no arguments from me. When we made you our commander, we all agreed to follow your lead. Darius, could you walk us through the details of this trouble we're in? It might help if you broke things down point by point. Sure thing, Yang. Point 1, Meyer's right, we're in debt. Every C-bill we make technically belongs to the bank. Point 2... Alright, name for Comstar. 1 C-bill is valued at 1 millisecond of HPG transmission time. Point 2. This corner of Frontier is a dead zone for mercenary work. There are clients, but they're terrible, that's just a fact. And that's it. There are no other points. What's our best case scenario? How many jobs will it take to repay these loans? Truthfully, I can't even say. We're in a pretty big hole, deep hole, and from where I'm standing, I don't see a whole lot of daylight. The thing is, these banks, and I use the word loosely, they don't want us to pay off our loans. They'll do whatever they can get away with to keep us on the hook. Hit us with fees, jack up our interest rates, misfire our paperwork. I'm trying to find us a way out of this, but it's gonna take time. And every day that passes, we accumulate more debt. If we keep going like we have been, we're screwed. Okay, so we're in a bad spot. What are we gonna do about it? I don't know what else we can do, James. I'm already serving up every legitimate contract I can find. Unless you want to sidestep the mercenary review board entirely, we're basically out of option. Alright. An even playing field. Go around the MRB? No thanks. Taking an uncertified job is a great way to end up put the knife in our back. We just got betrayed on a board-certified contract, Yang. How much worse could it get? Plenty. What happened down there was an exception, boss. With uncertified jobs, it's the rule. Remind me again why we don't just skip down and head to a nicer corner of the periphery? Because the banks and the jump ship crews have an arrangement. Until we pay up, they're gonna keep us on a short leash. Okay. That's a good reason. Look, Darius, Mayor is right. We need to start earning some real money. And we need to do it soon. It's only a matter of time before something breaks down that I can't fix with duct tape and connections. If I were afraid of taking a risk, I would never have left that gilded cage my parents called home. We're gonna have to just, we're gonna have to be just as bold. Okay. You heard that, Darius? The voice of experience speaks. Going around the MRB might kill us, sure. So might 1,000 other things. We're mercenaries. Taking risks is our business, but we need to get paid. It's settled then. I'll start digging for contracts outside the MRB system. Who knows, maybe it'll work out for the best. It doesn't like when you've got all that much to lose. In the meantime, we need to find another paying job. And our prospects in this system have completely dried up. I'd recommend booking travel to a neighboring system and seeing what the review board has for us. With any luck, we'll find enough work to keep going until something better rolls in. The banks are holding our jump ship access hostage until we repair debts. From now on, we can only go between Korean and the nearby systems of Alloway, Belafron, and Detroit. Our top priority now needs to be finding work so we can raise cash. None of the contracts here are very good. I picked up the only viable one I could find, and it hopefully includes our travel fees as part of the deal. Come by the command center when you're ready to review it. Okay, now, first and foremost, let's go to the mech bay. I've got mechs to repair. Well, there's only one, really. Now, two. Huh.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
Ready for orders.
MechWarrior training complete.
Yes, Commander.
Training complete.
Yes, Commander.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Waiting for orders.
MechWarrior training complete. I'm all ears, Commander. Catch you later, Commander.
New equipment available.
Welcome to the grease pit, Commander.
Commander?
Orders? Standing by.
I'm here.
Good to go.
Commander,
Commander,
ready for...
what's up, boss?
Ready for orders.
Orders?
New MechWarriors available.
Well, this is a decision I'll probably have to think about for a bit. First, I need to actually see the mission that I'm going to be dealing with before I buy anything. Alright, let's go to the mech bay. Alright, it's gonna take 3 days in total to repair all of this job. Alright. Let's see the finances. Estimated monthly total. Estimated operating cost, so 260,000. Well, okay. Our operatives on Belafron recovered the functional piece of the Star League Defense Force technology, but before they could deliver it to us, they were captured by pirate forces. We need a team to assault the location they're being held, recover the technology, and escape. I think the technology is some broken piece of scrap, but the Magistry of Canopus is willing to pay to recover it. We go in and get out before they even know what hit them. Okay. Well, it might be worth increasing my reputation with them than doing anything else. Commander, I hope you're in good health. This contract may interest you. It fits your skill and the strengths of your company. With any luck, we'll both get what we want out of this job.
What do you need?
I want to know more about our debt situation. Remind me why we took so many loans in the first place. How much time have you got? I mean, we've been hit with 1,000 expenses since we were forced to flee Coromodir, but I guess you're mostly interested in big-ticket items. Well, first and foremost, there is the Leopard. We still owe a lot of money on this ship. Losing her isn't an option. Then you've got all sorted fallout from our impromptu trip across the frontier. Jump ship passage, docking fees, miscellaneous travel expenses, all paid for on credit, as if we had the choice. There's more that I could get into. The loan we took out to set up the Markham family, etc., etc., but that'd be gilding the lily at this point. The fact is, we're in a lot of trouble with a lot of lenders, but hey, we're mercenaries, we live for trouble. Who are we in debt to? I want names. How about I give you the trumpery? First, you've got Blue Horizon, that's a big commercial bank on Loreton. They're the ones that own the lease on this ship. Then there's the Indri Consortium. They've got people everywhere, but they're based somewhere in Mark's base. We borrowed from one of their associates to make the jump away from Coromodir on the day of the coup. Finally, you've got Lacone... What? Lacone Landing. Lacone Landing. They're a frontier outfit from Hastur, and they're about as crooked as they come. Now, I don't normally do business with an outfit like the Double L, but they didn't have a choice. They made a deal with Blue Horizon to buy half our debt. So that's the big three. Our commercial bank, a shouting financial consortium, and a bunch of leg breakers in cheap suits. And each of them is dangerous in its own way. Alright. Enough about the money. I've got a few questions about running the company. For a bunch of okay. So decisions need to be made. Got a few minutes to chat. I'd like to catch up. Before any of this started, you worked with the Iran Royal Guard. Tell me about it. It was more than just a deployment. It was a full campaign. High Lord Tamati gave us a job back in 19. We were supposed to be assisting the Royal Guard to round up and eliminate the pirate clan on Fajaldir. Commander Markham thought that the BZ money turned out to be anything but. We lost a dozen MechWarriors in the 3 months of the campaign. Had to hose them out of their cockpits. Would have been more if it wasn't for Saraju. He saved our people's asses on more than one occasion. Went out of his way to do it. And the thing is, he didn't have to. We weren't under his protection, and we were hired to help. A lot of people in Mastiff's position would have used us as cannon fodder, but that wasn't his way. He treated us as if we were his own. He was a good man, James, as good as they come. Tell me about yourself, Darius. Where are you from? I grew up on Nassau Heights. It's one of the HAB stations orbiting at these fucking names are horrible. 30 decks of economic stratification with the corporate suits on the upper deck and everyone else cramped into the lower ones. My old man was a deckhand. We lived on deck 28, 2 levels up from the bottom, with the other station maintenance personnel. 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. My dad would load and unload cargo shuttles, vacuum sealed, what the quill and pace for people like us, and luxury goods for the suits upstairs. The old man must have unloaded 1,000 cases of Caecilian eel roe, plump, succulent eggs the size of melon balls. Never got to taste any though. Any of those tins would have cost him half a year's wages. Anyway, James, I don't want to saddle you with my life story. Suffice to say that I got an eyeful of what I didn't want to be on Nassau Heights, and I did what I had to do to change my circumstances. And by the age of 16, I struck out on my own. I left that station with a handful of skills, an enormous web of contacts, and a rucksack full of the expensive caviar. And once I made it off Nassau Heights, I never ever looked back. So he stole the caviar. Okay. Interesting. Alright. Gotta run, Darius.
You know where to find me.
Okay, I should probably accept the contract, but I need to consider the implications salvage-wise versus coin, and also reputation. Probably worth it to increase the reputation gain. So I'm gonna go... No. I probably should check this out first, right? Check some guide. What's worth it? Like, is it reputation? Is it cash? What's more worth it, right? Anyway, MechWarriors.
Ready for orders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Mech Bay. Well, here we are. Okay, so there's people to talk to. I talked to Darius over there in the command center. Then there's these two. The one in the mech bay,
Hey, Commander. Be
Vang,
with you in a second.
or Yang, whatever. Yang Vertanen. Yeah, boss, welcome to the mech bay. My own little piece of heaven right here on the ship. And with an assessment on the Leopard, how much trouble are we in? Don't know, I mean, we're doing okay for a moment. Give it a few months, maybe a year. You know how it goes. Eventually everything falls apart. I got a few questions about the mech bay. Well, this is the tutorial, so if you want to ask, you can ask. That's enough for now. I don't need to know this at the moment. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How do you wind up with this crew? That's a long story, boss. Shortest version I can give you, I signed on after I served my term in the First Succession War, fighting for the Capellan Confederation. If you want to know more, you can ask whatever you want. Otherwise, let's go back to talking shop. Where are you from originally? Bryant. In the Confederation, you may have heard of our claim to fame, the holy lizard cow. No, well, trust me, they're delicious. Anyway, as the story goes, Bryant was a really nice place one. A tourist spot, big with hikers and fishing enthusiasts. Pale blue skies, emerald green seas, and a booming agricultural business. You know, the works. I never knew it that way, though. Stefan Amaris got it a couple of centuries before I was born, and well, that was that. As the story goes, Bryant used to have these enormous orbital mirrors, storm inhibitors they call them. This League put them in place. When Amaris took the system in his civil war, he had his troops use them for target practice. Without those mirrors, Bryant reverted to its natural state. A miserable little ball of wind-blown dirt, actively hostile to human life. By the time I came along, the only places where people could live in relative safety were the planet's poles. Of course, you can't fit an entire planet's population into a handful of cities at its poles. There isn't enough space, no matter how far down you dig or how tall you build. A lot of people, mostly the poor, died in the early days. There's still a lot of overcrowding in Bryant cities even now. That's my childhood home in a nutshell. Way too many people jumped into a tiny, claustrophobic space with nowhere to go but half planet. I cleared out of there as fast as I could and never looked back. Gotta admit though, I do miss the taste of lizard cow. Okay. Tell me about your time in the military. Who'd you serve with? The 2nd St. Eve's Lancers, 1st Battalion under Major Ling. We saw more action than most. The arm is a souvenir of my time in service. I lost the original back in 3010 at St. Louis. You know, when we first arrived at St. Louis, I loved the place. It's an agricultural world, sort of a breadbasket over the neighboring systems. Green fields, rolling hills, you get the picture. We just walked out of hell on Kittery. The fat rats drove us out in 05 with our tails between our legs, so it looked like paradise to us. I remember kicking back in the mech bay, my feet propped up on an engine block, sipping on a snifter of Vermont. Not a bad way to spend a sunny afternoon. Anyway, it turned out the Federated Sons weren't done with us yet. We were barely a month into our deployment when they sent the SETI Hussars to burn us out. I'm sure there were sound strategic reasons for House Davian to want St. Louis, but it sure felt personal to me. Long story short, one of their scouts managed to slip through our perimeter and hit my mech bay. I was tinkering around in a Centurion's custom-made rumble seat at the time. A rumble seat? Okay. Being surrounded by all that armor is the only reason I made it out alive. Still, I didn't make it out unscathed. I lost two of my favorite assistants in my own right arm, and I've got this ugly thing grafted onto me as a reminder. Why do you leave the Capellan Confederation? After my tour of duty was up, you mean? I know, it just was time for a change. Besides, the place wasn't for me anymore. In a way, it never really was. I learned a lot from my time in service. Got the first-hand view of the elitist bullshit that saturates Capellan culture. How it rewards high-born idiots at the common people's expense. Speaking as a fairly common man, that didn't sit right with me. When my tour was over, I walked away and never looked back. You'll never really get away from the aristocracy, Yang. Hell, I was born a noble. Yeah, but you're a competent noble, and you aren't afraid to get your hands dirty. At the end of the day, that's all I really care about. I wonder how many times I watch talented engineers get passed over for promotion so some idiot with the title could advance. Too many to count. In your position, I probably would have done the same. Let's talk about something else. Okay. And then that's his personal story. There's obviously more to talk
Back anytime.
with the person that's in the navigation room. So if I go to navigation,
Good to see you.
if I go to the navigation map, all right. Active factions, huh? Quite several actually. So we have 4 systems in total. Okay. That's not exactly a big place, is it? Is this it? All these systems? Well, I imagine that there's more to it, but I just can't... Oh, there we go. So, is this the map, I'm guessing? Well, it's not too bad. There's quite a few systems, and I imagine there's more. It's not just a case of one mission per system. No, I imagine there's quite a few more than just one per mission. And we do have a border with the Magistracy, the Free Worlds League. Actually, we got borders with a lot of factions over here. We're right in the middle of it. And I'm guessing that's the Reach, isn't it? Yep. Karma, dear. The Tarian Concordant. Okay. The Capellan Confederation. The Free Worlds League. Okay. So we're right in the middle. So there's planetary governments on which various factions are operating on. But we're in the middle of nowhere at the moment. Okay.
Commander.
Does the decision we made about uncertified contracts satisfy your concerns? My concerns won't be satisfied until our creditors have been paid and the loan sharks are off our backs, but this is a step in the right direction. That makes me happy. I'm not blind to the risks that uncertified contracts entail, by the way. I mean, I know that what we're doing is dangerous, but it's the best chance we've got to dig ourselves out of this hole. I've got a few questions about navigation. The star map confuses me sometimes. Why does it take longer to get to one place than to another when the systems appear to be the same distance apart? That is a good question. Yeah, that bothered me too before I joined the academy. Turns out that in real life, space travel isn't like what you see in the adventurers, holovids, and that Darius makes us watch. For starters, some stars are more massive than others. In the case of a really big star, you have to range pretty far afield to find locations suitable for a KF jump. And for us, that means a whole lot of molasses slow sublight travel before we can even dock with the jump ship, let alone ride it anywhere. What can I do? Alright. Thanks for the help. I'm collecting stories about the crew. Tell me something about yourself. Well, I'm from a noble family, like you. We're old money. Made a fortune out in the Razel Hag. Then repatriated in the Tarian Concordant. That's where I grew up. I do struggle with a lot of these names. I'm not sure if this is the kind of stuff you're hoping to hear, but we can talk about whatever. I'm not shy. Where in the Concordant are you from? I grew up in New Vandenberg. It's a nice enough place, I suppose. Do you like birds? Why do you ask? Because New Vandenberg is crawling with them. It's basically one big aviary. Something like 2/3 of the native fauna has feathers, flutters on the wind, and splatters its excrement across every available surface. Naturally, the original colonists adopted the feathery little monsters into the culture, and those of us that came after were kind of stuck with it. Statues, fountains, murals, you name it, just a giant feathery pile of screeching alien birds. If the system had a motto, it would be squawk. Oh, that's good. Okay. Cute. Maybe if I hadn't grown up with it. Where did you learn to pilot a leopard anyway? The Aurigan Naval Institute at New Vandenberg. Well, among other places, it's a big campus. The low-gravity training station orbiting Lampak was my second home for a time. TNI flight training isn't usually open to civilians, but my parents had good credits back then, and they could name drop Protector Calderon. That'll get you pretty far in the Concordant. For a while, anyway. The other cadets in my class weren't especially happy sharing air with the civvy, but they couldn't say much. I was an ability and they weren't. Everyone sort of kept me at arm's length, but that's why I had plenty of time to concentrate on my studies. I got my certification in both dropship and jumpship operations for 4 years. I even tried working on commercial jump crew for a while, once upon a time. The people were fun, but it wasn't for me. The ratio of flying to violent jump sickness skewed hard in the wrong direction. What can you tell me about House Meyer? You're looking at it. My parents are both gone. Blood, cancer, and heart disease, respectively. Both treatable, but they were out of money at that point, so into the ground they went. Ditto my brother David, who ran off to serve in the First Succession War and never came back. Okay. Alright. That's a rough break. It is what it is. To be perfectly honest, I was never really all that close to any of them. David was 14 years older than me and had a foot out the door before I turned free. My parents, well, they raised me by proxy in the traditional noble fashion. There was no real bond there, even when I was young. None of this is to say that my folks were bad people. They weren't. They were just doing what they knew. Their upbringing had been outsourced, just like mine was. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about my family. They're gone, I'm here, the end. So you got another question, or should we get back to our duties? Your family came from... Okay. It was a long time ago, but yeah, as my parents told it, we were landowners on the Pomme de Terre. It's an agricultural world, sort of the breadbasket of the Draconis combined. Yes, I know that Pomme de Terre means potato. My ancestors came from that planet, Potato. It took some time for me to accept that, but hey, here we are. Okay, anyway, moving on. House Meyer's holdings were meager, but the value of that land was astronomical. For my nobility, we were really very wealthy. And then the First Succession War broke out, and the political rhetoric got ugly. House Meyer didn't want a single part of what was happening, so my ancestors emptied their accounts and ran. As a rule, House Kurita takes a really dim view of nobles who cut and run. Words like traitors and defectors start getting thrown around. In the Combine, you really don't want that to be on the receiving end of allegations like that. I wouldn't be standing here if House Calderon had granted my ancestors asylum in the Concordant. In all likelihood, House Meyer would have been wiped out before I was even born. Okay. House Kurita, right. And that was House Calderon. Okay, and that's it. I think I've exhausted all the conversation options.
Commander?
I need to install a jump jet and maybe some heat sinks as well on my mech. I do have a reasonable amount of money, so I guess I should buy some weapons.
New equipment available. New equipment available.
There's flamers, ammo. Okay, I can't afford to get to zero money. Costin here on Serious Gaming. Signing out, don't forget to subscribe and like the video.